It is the Thursday before the November 8th election of 2016. This is my plea for you to vote for Donald Trump. Not only to vote for him, but to understand that this is an opportunity of a lifetime, a once-in-a-lifetime vote. You should be excited and plan on going. If you are on the fence, if you're not sure, if you kind of like him, this is my video to convince you of that and to put down kind of where my thoughts are in this. I think a lot of people want to vote for Donald Trump, but they're scared to even mention it. This is kind of how I started out. They just can't justify it. They're afraid to speak out because of the shaming, the media, the violence that's occurred against Donald Trump. People just wearing hats get beat up. If I'm afraid to speak out about something, there's a problem of an anti-free speech message that's being portrayed somewhere in America. And when I would talk to people though in private, like I was just shocked at how many people were like, yeah, I like what he says. Yeah, that makes complete sense. I mean, yeah, he's not great. He's not a politician. And I'm not talking like stupid people. I mean like people that have made rational decisions and I mean, they're successful. I trust them. They kept saying the same thing. And I realized politics is downstream from culture. Whatever the culture is going to be, eventually that's where the politics will go. So you need to step back and look at the big picture and not be so concerned with necessarily politics. So this is kind of for people that understand that like Democrats and Republicans don't have the answers for us and they need to change. So how did I come to support Donald J. Trump? Number one, I kept an open mind. First thing that tipped me off was the media attacked him relentlessly all the time, no matter what. And I just started like kind of like fighting back and just being like, that's not true. Like there's nothing wrong with saying that. That's not racist. It's not how you're painting him. Just attacking him, false narratives, the untruth of Donald Trump on YouTube. Great philosophy guy, Stefan, just kind of breaks down every single thing. So if you're like, oh, he did this or that, everything you think you know about him is just, it's so wrong. I did the same thing. I was wrong. You know, it happens. Just keep an open mind. Check it out for yourself. I realized that people vote on emotions, not ideas. I'm very logical. Oh, we need to follow the Constitution. People don't care about the Constitution. Like, let's be real here. In government, no one goes out and says, well, who's supporting the Constitution? And look at our Amendment 2 said this, and in the history class, you know, people are purely voting on emotion. That's what it is. The left knows this. They do it great. Beautiful. I did not vote for John McCain in 2008. I did not vote for Romney. So this isn't like, oh, I'm always going to vote for a Republican and we got to stop the evil Democrats. I've never said this is the biggest election ever. This is the biggest election ever. So number one reason to vote for Donald Trump is to stop the corrupt media. Even Fox News. Like if you think Fox News is giving you anything that's accurate or true, then you need to reevaluate where you're getting your news from. And I don't even need to talk about CNN. But do you think the person that's going to change anything in the government is going to be hailed by the media or either party? I understand that's not a completely logical argument, but that wouldn't happen. If someone's going to change something, they would be hated by the power structures. The PC culture needs to be destroyed. Yeah, if you're for that, then I can't help you. Social justice warriors, if you don't know what that is, you need to Google it. I thought it at first, like, stay on top of the news. I thought it was some crazy fringe element, like, you know, like the left will talk about crazy Westboro Baptist people. These people like own and run colleges. You can't even have someone come into a college and speak about anything semi-right wing without it being shut down. That's only going to get stronger if Trump does not win. I'm not going to use Hillary's name. Nobody with principles can win. So whoever you like, it may be like Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, whoever it is that you think would change everything, or if you're a Ron Paul person or Bernie Sanders person, nobody with principles can win. The media will not let them win. They will be shamed. They will be ridiculed. They will be rigged like Bernie Sanders was. You're not going to win if you're going to change anything. It just doesn't happen. So Trump is literally the only person who's ever been big enough, has his own money to self-fund himself, that can even do anything. There's a chance. Number 2, illegal immigration. Okay, you do not have to be racist to want to stop illegal immigration. I've never talked to a real person who's just like, yeah, I think we should just allow floods of people to pour into our country and not know who they are. This is the number one job of a country, is to have a secure border. Both parties do this. 1920, 1965, we almost let no immigrants in. In 65, the Democrats passed a bill to bring them in more from poorer countries, to bring up their voter base. It's a genius idea. Republicans support it because they get cheap labor and they're supported by big business. So, I mean, just think about this, because I'm trying to speak to people kind of in the middle here on both parties. Terrorism and visas. Almost all the 9/11 hijackers were on visas. Like, no one's even semi-serious about stopping people that shouldn't be here from being here. Boston bombers on expired visas. Like, nobody cares. Whatever. People are just here wandering around. Nothing. Foreign policy. I don't know how anyone can look at the actual data and think Trump is some sort of crazy person who wants to start a war. It's hard not to say her name, but I'm not going to do it. All right. He has been on record for years to be against the Iraq war. He says all the time, like, this wars are stupid, we're wasting our money, whatever. Against the Iraq war. His South Carolina speech, he just ripped the military-industrial complex. He ripped Bush for going to war, and people cheered him in South Carolina. When was the last time a Republican said that anywhere? Maybe you think, whatever, he said this, that, there, maybe he won't do it. But he said that in South Carolina. Ron Paul got booed for saying we should follow the golden rule. That's the whole thing, is until the media is broken, nobody you think, like Ron Paul, destroyed right away. He's racist, he's old, he's some crazy person. Never going to happen. Okay. Next reason, Supreme Court. Not the only reason to vote for people. I hate it when Republicans bring it up too. I'm just saying, there's 2 to 3 vacancies. He's put out his 20 judges. I'm sure they're not perfect, but it's going to be better than anyone else is going to elect. Who would win? Again, politics is downstream from culture. If I'm wrong here, I want to learn from my mistakes. I've put countless hours of research. I probably listen to 4 hours worth of information a day. It's all over the board, right, left wing, economics, politics. I don't watch Fox News, any mainstream media. And this is where I'm at. I've talked about it for months with friends. They're all there too. I mean, but everyone's afraid to say it. So my thing is, go out and vote for Trump. If you're not ready to be proud of it, that's fine. If you are, then be proud of it. Like, we have to change the culture. The First Amendment will not be taken away from the government. It will be taken away from the culture. It will be taken away by people that work around us and don't let us speak out about the truth, and will shame us, and you'll get fired for your job for even mentioning anything dealing with right-wing libertarian philosophy. The last reason, still I don't know how this is brought up more, he's not owned. I mean, that's what people loved about Bernie Sanders. That's what people loved about Ron Paul. So maybe everything he doesn't say is perfect, but he is not owned. To have a self-funding campaign, Wall Street does not want him. The military-industrial complex does not want him. The media doesn't want him. The Republicans don't want him. And the Democrats don't want him. Do you think those people have your best interest at heart? And then, I always hear, he's some sort of plant, or they fixed him there. Why would he do this? Why would he go? This This is the thing people like. Look how the media treated him before he ran as a Republican. He went on every talk show. He won civil rights awards, giving millions to poor people, helping people out. I don't care if somebody ran a business of 3 hotels. They're smarter than the politicians people put up every day. They don't, that's the thing is that's a tangent. So the other one is like he was a Democrat, he used to pay Democrats. Of course you pay Democrats if you're in New York and you own businesses. You can't get construction done in Detroit on a house without bribing people. I mean, that's the thing is he did what he had to do. Of course you're going to take